Hey y'all, this is gonna be my series on go-karting. We're gonna try to get into the sport of go-karting. Got a couple buddies into it. Went out to a few races, watched. It didn't take long before I was hooked. Needed to do it. So I did what anybody would do if you want to do something on the cheap. I got on Facebook. I went through the marketplace and I got onto a couple go-kart racing forums. I put out a couple ads looking for a cart. Because the last thing I wanted to do was buy everything. And you got to get the cart, but then you need the tires, and you need a decent motor, and you need a little bit of equipment, and you need some extra parts, and you need a few special tools and things that you might need. And I didn't want to have to buy that all in little pieces. So I ended up finding a guy, and for what ended up being $1,500 Canadian, I ended up picking up this cart and a whole bunch of parts for it, basically complete extra motor, extra rims, extra tires, a complete extra body, and like I say, $1,500. It even came with a rolling stand that it's on to work on it. So kind of nice that way, like I say, instead of having to buy the stand and everything, it's just there. The cart is basically race ready. It starts, it runs, it drives. It definitely needs a good servicing. It needs the bearings gone through and cleaned. It needs the motor gone through, just cleaned up, maybe a couple seals. I'm going to clean the carburetor, a few other things. And the goal is to be on the track by next Friday, which it's Saturday now. So there's a race day Friday, and I'm going to try to get out there in this cart. And this series is going to be about me getting there. So this is just a quick introduction to what I'm going to do. I'll go over, kind of what I got for a cart and what I got for parts today. And then after that, we'll start putting a video together on the tear down of the cart. I'll pull the body and the motor off. I'm going to pull the rear axle out, all the bearings, go through all of those, but we'll get to that. But like I say, right now, what we ended up with though, it's a 2005 Phantom Phenom chassis. So quick spoiler alert for everybody, it starts smashing the keyboard right now after I said Phantom Phenom. After a little more research, and by the time I got to doing this video edit, it's a Phantom Banshee. Close, but not the same. Anyways, let's go on. I have the adjustable steering knuckles that go up and down so you can adjust your weights and your cross load and all that stuff, but it's not the one that has the plates to do the camber and caster on the fly adjustments. It's the older school one. But from everything I've read online, still a great chassis. They won hundreds of races. They did good. They still do good. The chassis still exists today, except in a version that has the adjustable steering on it. So at least that's my knowledge of the situation. This cart's set up for an adult 6.5 clone class. To be quite honest, I don't know what's inside this motor. I don't know what's work's been done to it. I don't know what modifications have been done to it. I just know it was running in one of the classes at a different track, but same area with same rules. So it should run on the right class for me. Like I say, I am going to tear it down to some extent, at least pull the exhaust and the intake off it. Going to do carb clean and that, just to kind of figure out what I got. Maybe I can see whether there's valve work or something done while I'm in there. So like I say, cart's race ready. It's got tires on. It's got a set of Burris tires. They still got a fair bit of life in it. So like I say, another thing where I spent my $1,500, but I'm ready to race. I got tires, I got a cart, I got bodies, I got everything I need, even threw in some safety gear. So, like I say, versus going to the store and spending a couple thousand on a chassis and $1,000 on a motor and $1,000 on a body. And not that they all cost that much, but if you want top of the line of stuff, that's where you're going to end up. You're going to be $5, $6, $7 grand into a cart, which is great if you're into it and you're loving it. But I'm starting out, so I don't want to put that kind of cash in right away. So just where we are, right? So the body's super clean on this thing. It had some stickers on them. I peeled them off because I didn't want everybody to see the last guy's name on it. But yeah. So anyways, just have a quick look at the cart. It's not bad. There's it's just your standard cart. There's nothing fancy about it. The windshield, this one's broke a little bit here, but the rest of the body's pretty good actually. And yeah, so it's just, it's not bad. The race seat actually fits me, so I don't have to buy one of those. He's put a quick release steering wheel on it at one time. So perfect for me because I'm a bigger guy. It's a little easier to get my legs in around the seat. But everything's basically here. Yeah, other than a good cleaning, it's all I've done to it. And really, I just cleaned it so that I could have a good look at what equipment was on the cart, what condition the parts were in, had a better look at the bearings and the brakes and that. There was quite a bit of grime in the back of everything. The motor was completely covered with grime to the point where you couldn't even see the writing on the engine mount or anything. So, you know, it cleaned up nice. And it's what we're going to start with. And like I say, we're going to do a series of videos. We're going to pull the body, yank the motor, go through it, go through the axles, get this thing all put back together this week, get some stickers on it, hopefully go racing. We're going to bring you along for that too. So as far as parts go, and this is, like I say, this is where buying somebody's going out of business career sale gets you the stuff. So I ended up with some extra tires. They're not great, but they're good for running around the grass here if I want to do some practice or something. The guy had a whole bucket full of parts. There's basically a complete 6.5 in parts, minus the flywheel is the only thing I found missing. Everything else is there and in good shape. There's a couple extra gears, there's some oil, there's some parts, there's some tools, more oil. He's got a set of 4 bathroom scales, which is the poverty way to do your kart scaling. It works just fine. You know, it doesn't do the math for you, but it's going to get you close enough to do what you're going to do. And for, you know, well, for me, basically free because they came with the cart. But even if you had to go buy them, you're only $100 worth of scales versus $1,500 for the fancy electric ones that aren't going to get you much closer. So, and then, like I say, there was one more body that came with it. So this one's actually in really good shape too. I already started peeling. They just had a gold wrap on it, so it's never been painted. It's still just a black body underneath. Not too bad for cracks or nothing. There's one good one in the front where they hit it pretty good, but like I say, so for 1,500 bucks, I'm basically racing. I got extra parts, I got extra tires, I got extra body, and I got a full cart that races. I know this video is going to be a little rough. It's been a while since I've put one up, and I get mumbly, so hopefully you get something out of this. Hopefully you come back to see how I'm going to make a cheap $1,500 cart a winner, because that's my plan with this thing. I want to go in and be competitive in a $1,500 entry level. I'm literally going to run this thing this week, and if I put anything into it, it's going to be a couple shaker cans of paint and some stickers. Other than that, it's going to be time and elbow grease and setup, and I got to make sure it's set up great, and I got to make sure the motor is top notch as far as I can get it without actually putting any extra machining or work into it. And we'll see what we can do. So if you like this, which you might not, smash a like. If you want to see the rest of these builds and you want to see me race this thing next week, hit a subscribe, hit the bell just so you can see me. I'm not after YouTube money. I really just want to get karting bigger in my area, and I want to be able to show people that they can get into it for cheap, because these deals are out there all the time where either somebody's upgrading a go-kart and they're getting rid of everything they already had from the other one, or they're just ran out of time and they're getting rid of it, or their kids are older and they're gotten out of it, or whatever happens. But these things end up out there for a decent price, and they can be raced, and they can make winners. So anyways, everyone have a good one. Till next time, this is me.